Yay Networks.
Hi, Wild Ones. Welcome back to the Wild Rose podcast. I'm Whitney Rose.
And I'm Connie Daniels.
And today we have, I can't even believe who our guest is today. Like, I cannot believe this person is sitting next to me on the couch, is in my home because I'm a huge fan. I'm totally trying to keep my cool, not fangirl. I'm sweating. I'm shaking. I'm so nervous. I met, it's Michael Rapaport.
Rapaport.
Yep. I had the pleasure of chasing Michael down at BravoCon. I don't know if you remember that. I saw you leaving, and I started sprinting to catch you because I'm like, I am going to say hi to him.
And I saw your husband. We were leaving, and I don't know, you said hello, and for some reason, I had been... Well, first of all, I'm glad to be here. But when I was at BravoCon, I was, as a fan of the Real Housewives, as a fan of all things Bravo, as a fan of Vanderpump Rules, for me, for the fans and the fan perspective, I was so overwhelmed with glee, excitement, joy, and fandom. I was flipping. I was out of my mind. And I believe I saw you on Friday,
yep,
which was the first day I was there, and I went home and I told my wife who I had saw, and I showed the pictures, and she was tripping out. And then I was like, "You got to come Sunday." She's like, "I don't want to go." I go, "Babe, these people, these housewives, these Vanderpump, these Bravo stars have given us so much joy. When you see them in real life, you're gonna trip out. And when you see them in real life in the abundance, because it was like I was in the bathroom, I was taking a piss next to Joe Giudice, so just to be around everybody in person, I was tripping out, and to run into you, and like I bumped into your husband, and I was bumping into random Bravo people, so it was exciting to meet you. I've been a day one Real Housewives of Salt Lake City fan. I am in a Real Housewives house doing this podcast, which is, do you know that people would fly from all over the world to be here with you if they're fans of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? And after that premiere of episode 1 so far of season 4, I'm happy to be here. I know I just vomited my excitement.
No, it's feeding my soul. Like I can't. I think keep going. Is this your first housewife home you've been in?
I think this might be my first Housewives home I've actually been in. Yeah.
I'm the first.
Yes. Yes, I think I am. This is the first Housewives home. Yes. I've had a couple of Housewives in my home. Yes.
All the way in Salt Lake City, Utah.
In Salt Lake City, Utah. Who would have thought? But yeah, I'm here and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I can't believe I convinced you to come.
Dude, is your buzzer buzzing?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm a housewife. All the housewives are calling me right now. We're airing. There's so much drama going on behind the scenes.
Are they calling
Angie Katzenevas has called me 3 times in a row. That means it's an emergency.
Uh-oh. Housewife emergency. What would that entail?
I'm going to put it down.
What is she? Is she calling you? Is that what happens? Like something comes out on a blog or a vlog?
Oh, it's like, yeah, someone probably did an article or posted something on Instagram.
She's a new Jack, though.
Yeah. She was a friend of last season.
Yes. She got the champagne poured on her.
The champagne. Now she's a full-time, and I love her. She and I have become very good friends. We went to her house for the premiere.
When you get to know her on the show.
She's been good. Mm-hmm. She's been good. I mean, this Salt Lake City and the emergence of the show and going into season 4, it's like now you guys are like veterans, and the season starting the way it started and the episode ending with you guys all, what was that, like a snow lodge, like a winter lodge? Where was that place you guys were at that everybody was at? What was that?
Yeah, it's a winter lodge.
It's
a lake. So it's a boating lake in the summer, and in the winter, it's an ice fishing lake.
And you guys all showing up, and the fashion choices of each and every one of you. Like, I'm not a fashion person. Like, that's not my thing that I gravitate to the housewives. Women and other people might, be into that. But you guys were so on brand the way and then there was people I didn't know. There was some new girl. I was like, what's going on here with this one? And there was a friend of a friend. But you guys were dressed and it was so Salt Lake City. It was just boom.
Yeah.
And it was a great way to start the season. I love when they start the seasons with a little precursor of something that happens at the end because they had Heather and we were like, what's going to happen? And we know we're going to find out what happened at some point. And it's just the beauty of being a fan.
Yeah.
Totally.
So,
Did you recognize me from that episode? I was on there.
What did you have? What did you have
I had on a Louis Vuitton like fuzzy coat.
Yes, I did.
So Connie's actually in a lot of episodes. She's
Okay.
my
the
bestie.
background.
Okay.
But she's more of a background supportive friend.
That's where I like to be. Front row seat. I let her handle all the drama. That's where I like to be.
And not very many of my friends can come and hang with the housewives. Like I can.
Why not? Just because
it's
they don't have
so cutthroat.
They don't have the disposition.
They don't have the disposition, the stamina, and
the stamina.
Yeah,
Stamina.
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 You know how to say the wrong word.
No, but I'm helping because I
Say
don't
it
want
again.
anybody to be like, she just said stamina wrong.
Oh, I'm so fucking used to it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Are you kidding me? I get spell check on Instagram
all
every
the
day.
time? Yeah, my spelling. I'm not one to talk. I can't say. I just caught that.
But wait, let's see if I can say it. Stamina.
Stamina.
You got it.
Stamina.
Stamina. And this is coming from a person who can't barely speak. Stamina.
With your New York accent.
I'm just gonna call you during my confessionals.
Yeah, I'm calling Michael Rapaport for pronunciation and spelling. That'll help you a lot. You'll get nowhere.
Okay, so you're a big fan. We know that, and because we're big fans of yours.
Thank you.
Like you've had an incredible career in acting. You're a stand-up comedian. That's why you're here in Salt Lake.
Yes.
Are you on tour?
Yes. I'm on tour.
You're performing tonight and tomorrow night?
Yes, 2 more shows at Wise Guys, and then I'm on tour. I'm coming to a city near you guys. All tickets, all information's available at michaelrapaport.com. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going to Pittsburgh. I'm going to Chicago. I'm going all over the place. So if anybody wants to come see me, I definitely talk about the Housewives and my love of reality TV, and everything is available at michaelrapaportcomedy.com. But yeah, I've been fortunate to have a good career, and I love what I get to do, and I love everything that I've gotten to do, and I have more things that I want to do. So yeah.
Before we dive in deeper to how you became a fan of Housewives, because I have to know.
Yes.
I want to know everything. What do you have a favorite role? A favorite film? A favorite role that you've played?
It's the roles and the movies and what resonates with people is different for me. I mean, all the things that people like, the thing is, I've never really had a bad experience, working on things. There's things that I've loved more. You've had bad days, where you're not having a good time. But, whether it's, the Netflix show Atypical or Beautiful Girls or Friends or Justified or, whatever I've gotten to do. Last year I did, a season of the Martin Short, Selena Gomez, Only Murders in the Building. And I'm just fortunate to be able to do the things. I love what I get to do. I love doing stand-up. I love doing live shows.
Did you start your career in stand-up?
I did. I started when I was 19. I started doing stand-up. And then I fell in love with acting deeply and quickly. And I, started, getting a lot of work very, very quickly. And I stopped doing stand-up, and then I started back doing stand-up about, 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, I love doing both of them. And they're very different in terms of, stand-up and doing anything live is so unpredictable. And it's so much, like when you're in front of a live audience, it's just, you're not in control of everything. You think you are, and the great ones are really in control, the great comedians, but they'll even tell you it's so much of a give and take off of the ebb and flow of a live audience. So
and you haven't had Whitney Rose in your audience yet.
Not yet.
And we're at Wise Guys tonight. I've been kicked out of there before.
For what? Drinking?
Hackling.
Did you heckle a comedian? Who did you heckle? What comedian did you heckle? Was this before you were a famous housewife?
No.
This is recently?
Probably before, during, and after.
Yeah, it was last year. Luckily, it didn't get
You
picked
got
up.
kicked out of a comedy club?
They just asked, they came and asked me to be
They did.
quiet. And then I went to the back. And luckily, I know the owners and the people that work there. And they're like, Whit, I know he's pissing you off, but you got to just keep it chill.
Was the comedian messing with you?
No, he was just really anti everything I believe in. So I was on, and I was like 4 tequila shots in. I'll come more sober to your show. Don't worry. He said some stuff that I'm like, you can't say that. It's 2022.
You said it during the middle of the show?
Yeah.
You don't want to say who it was?
I don't even
I
remember
don't
who it was.
remember.
I
I
think
was
it was
there with
an
her.
up and coming
Okay,
comedian,
okay.
and so I apologize. That's so disrespectful.
You're lucky they weren't filming. You're lucky that didn't get put out there.
Honestly,
That's true.
This is
I
going to
feel
be the
so
thing.
bad.
Whitney Rose was kicked out of a comedy club for heckling a comedian. That's like, that's not just bad. That's like Karen shit. Like they can have you not just as a housewife, they could have you like the Karen of Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Well, I've already been labeled that. So
Have you been labeled a Karen?
well, Jen did. Jen tried.
Well, Jen,
but here's
listen,
the-
and
here's-
I'm not going to bash Jen because what she went through, what she's going through, and the victims and the people she took advantage of, obviously they're, what they went through is way, they were taking, especially older people. But Jen, I mean, as a fan, I'm just talking about her on the show.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will misconstrued if I like a person on the show, don't like a person on the show, celebrate a person on the show, celebrate a bad guy on the show. For me, I look at you guys as characters. You're playing a heightened version, an edited version of yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't have that much control because I understand editing and all that stuff. I like to not think about that stuff when I'm watching it.
You can't think about that. It'll drive you crazy.
It'll definitely drive you
Yeah.
crazy. But Jen Shaw, as a housewife, as a real housewife, as a character on a real life, not who she is in real life and not the things she did that got her in the... Well, how many years in jail is she going to be in?
6.5.
Shit. I mean, she got herself in a fucking situation.
Mm-hmm.
But her on the show and her storyline and her arc and all that stuff and the kookiness and the craziness... I mean, she had a run, and even my girl, and I at the end of when they kicked her off of season 2, Mary Cosby, I was like, this fucking nut job has to go. But when she comes back as a friend, and I'm sure the conversation was, Mary, we can't make you a regular cast member because you're too fucking nuts, but we can make you a friend because you're too fucking nuts.
Right.
So it's like they know, like Mary Cosby, her anyway.
She makes a great friend. Her one-liners, her reactions.
Because you don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
But she's not a nice friend.
Listen,
Well, yeah,
this is the Real Housewives. We don't
yeah.
need
But a good
necessarily
friend.
nice
I'm
friends.
the
No,
nice
you don't.
friend. Yeah.
I mean,
Mary-
because what did she say about you in the premiere? Like the first, like she said some shit
little
about
girl.
bobblehead.
Oh,
She calls me bobblehead.
bobblehead.
But I'm
And
not
no
even-
disrespect, Mary Cosby, because I don't want your wrath, but Mary Cosby, like some might say you're a bobblehead, like some of the way, and I say that with all due respect. I say that with love and affection, but her reads, her shade is top notch. So as nutty as she was to get her off the season 2, I was happy to have her back in episode 1 so far, the early episodes of season 4. I was pumped up.
Okay, that being said, I have to back up because we have to know, how did you get into the whole Bravo, what do they call it, Bravo-verse?
Yeah,
Bravo universe?
how does someone like
How-
you become a
Housewives.
Housewife fan.
So I don't remember how long ago it was, but my wife, she was always a fan.
which she is fabulous.
Thank you. She's
And
a
I have
fan.
little gifts for her. And you.
Oh, okay, cool. She's always been a fan, and I can't remember what show now. I don't know if it was Atlanta or New York, or is Vanderpump. I can't remember exactly which show, but I remember after a Sunday of football, watching football, I had come upstairs early because it didn't go well for me. My fantasy football day didn't go well, which fantasy football and Real Housewives are very similar to me in what they bring up.
Okay. Similar
Emotionally?
emotions?
Emotionally, the elation, the fun, the joy, the thrills of victory. Although I don't bet on Housewives, but I do bet on fantasy football. Not a lot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It could be $1. It could be $100.
Are you happy with your draft this season?
Yes. Good. But after one game or one Sunday of a bad day of fantasy football, I just was like, what is this? And she was explaining this one and that one. And I was like, I had to succumb because that was her room. She was in control of the TV. And I just was sort of watching it and enjoying it. And then, continued watching it and enjoying it. And then I said, I'll watch this one with her. And I just sort of fell in love with it. And I just think it's just such great, entertaining television. Like a good episode of Bravo, a good episode of The Real Housewives. I mean, Vanderpump Rules, I'm right now in the middle of rewatching all of Vanderpump Rules from the beginning. And,
Really?
and streaming
So many
them.
people have. Yeah.
And when you stream them, there's no commercials. There's no breaks. You're just watching them. And they're just boom, boom, boom. So you don't have to wait a week in between. And seeing like that show and seeing like the Housewives, they're just entertaining, excellent forms of television. They are great. And I will argue any dude, any woman, any person, especially the dudes, I'm like, yeah, I fucking watch that shit. And I say all the time, it's your loss for not watching it. If you think fucking sports is cool, or and you think it's the same thing to me. It's the same sort of. It brings out, and I get the same satisfaction from your shows as I do sports. It's
That's
different, but it's
wild.
similar.
Yeah, I can see the similarity, but also I can't.
But it also is very much, especially Housewives, it's like teams and competition.
Yes.
But it's not like so blatant in your face. We're not wearing jerseys and we're not like all.
But you're wearing Louboutins.
Yeah.
You might throw a glass
But
And you got bags.
instead of a football.
But it's clear to the audience of there's teams and it's like, whose side are you on?
Yes.
It's very competitive.
Yes.
But what do you think it is that you fell in love with? Was it the characters, the people, the lifestyle, the drama?
I think it was initially, and it's a while ago, and I've fallen in love with so many different things. I think it was the humor. I think it was the humor. It was definitely like the New York and the Atlanta girls and the Jersey girls, and it was like the humor. Like I was like the humor, and then I started asking my wife, like, what's this one story? And she was like, oh, she did this, she did that, and she started off as this, and now she's doing that. I was like, oh shit, that's cool. And like Bethany, and you were like kind of saw her sort of evolution as a housewife, and you saw Nene, and you just like, oh shit, she's on that TV show now. Like I just was like, how I was fascinated by like it starting from this one thing, and then these people becoming famous, and the chaos and the drama of the Giudice. Family drama was very Sopranos, very New Jersey, very on brand, and Joe Gorga and Teresa Giudice and Joe Giudice, and that this is my family. Like I was like, this is like, what the fuck is this? Like this is fucking like the Sopranos.
It is, yeah, and that is the classic. Those are the franchises I fell in love with: Atlanta and New Jersey. I was a big fan before I became a housewife. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I'm not surprised, but did you think, like, now that you've been doing it 4 years and you have perspective and you sort of probably have a way better understanding of doing it and participating, like when you first started doing it, what did you think you were doing, and what do you think and know you're doing now 4 seasons into it? Like, your perspective on the whole thing has to have changed.
Absolutely. And when I first started, I tried my best to erase everything I knew about reality TV. Erase everything I knew about Housewives. I'm just going to come in fresh as Whitney. But I was so shocked by the process of how it works.
I know enough people, and I've been that I don't ask questions. I don't like I don't want to know what happens in episode 4. I don't want to know what happens in episode 11. I don't know. Like I just like the heightened reality of it. I fucking love the heightened reality of it.
I have to
and,
say,
and watching it, so like just like I understand storytelling, I understand filmmaking, I understand, but like it's so well done when it's well done that you just can't see it. It's just like boom, boom, and the confessionals pop in there, and the music, and the cuts, and the the previews. Like it all fucks with your brain. It's just great.
it's like you get into the washing machine and you're just like,
You're in the fucking washing machine.
What's going on?
And that fucking machine does not end. And then they put you in the dryer. They tell me. Then
Yeah.
we rewash you. And then we put you on a spin cycle.
Then they comb your hair a little bit.
Then they might hang dry you. Then they
Is
give
that
you a
what
little.
it feels like, Whitney?
Oh,
Is
hell
this
yeah.
what it feels like?
But I have to give props to Salt Lake because, that was season 1. None of us, we're the OGs. We did not know what we were doing. And Utah by nature is the fakest culture. It's let's push out perfection, but really it's a shit show.
Is
no
it?
one, Oh, yeah. It's
Absolutely.
like, it is so
It's our
fake
culture here.
Yeah,
With
it's our
Mormonism,
culture.
it truly is. It's like appear perfect to your neighbors and your friends, but what happens behind closed doors is obviously nothing's perfect.
Interesting.
No one's perfect.
Yeah, so I think it
Interesting.
took Salt Lake a minute to get over that and be comfortable with, saying what we really think, how we really feel, and like argue on camera.
Let me ask you a
But
question.
season 4, we are not scared.
I mean, season.
We're not scared anymore. In fact, we should be scared
Really?
a little bit.
All right. I'm not gonna. I don't ask because I know you can't tell, and I don't want to know.
Yeah, we've evolved.
But let me ask you something. What's up with Jen Shaw's family right now? Like, how are they doing? Do you like? How is Coach Shaw? Like, how? I mean, I know I don't want to say how are they doing because obviously they're suffering. But what are they doing? What's the latest on them? Because I do wish them well.
Of course, yeah, we all do. I think Jen's family, I think the hardest part of the whole situation is her family, her husband and children. I have not kept in touch with them, but I did not have a relationship with them in that intimately. Like,
Right.
Justin messages or used to message with Coach Shaw.
Uh-huh.
It's my understanding they're doing the best they can. He's still working at the U and
That's good.
doing well. I mean, I think that they're doing the best they can with the situation.
Were you tripping out during that whole situation? Like when it became, it's one thing like, it's one thing, flip a table, pull a drink. These are, physical altercations. I'm not saying on your shows, but this is like a whole other fucking level of reality TV. Obviously we've had it with Teresa Giudice, Joe Giudice. There's been other people that have gotten in trouble. But like you just as a person, were you tripping that whole thing was playing out in front of the world like that? And you were so, like that when you guys were in this, what do you call it, Sprinter van?
Sprinter van.
Is it Splinter or Splinter?
Sprinter.
Sprinter, like you could sprint, and
Yes,
it's because
fast.
you could go fast because
Yeah.
they're sleek. But when that whole thing was happening, like and if you can't answer this, but like when that whole thing was happening, were you tripping out off of that?
I was freaking out. I did not know what to believe. So when the feds, so if you remember, Jen comes back, Sharif's in the hospital, internal bleeding, I gotta go. 2 minutes later, our van is stormed with FBI, HSI, which I didn't even know what that was at the time, Homeland Security, a SWAT team, CIA.
They didn't have guns drawn, did
Oh,
they?
they had full rifles.
On the fucking van?
Yes, on the van, okay?
Oh,
so,
shit.
so not drawn, they were down.
Right.
Down.
It's good enough for me.
But it was so out of nowhere, and their outfits didn't
And you
match.
think you're going to shoot your show? Where were you guys going?
Yeah, we were sitting in the parking lot.
You're fucking dolled up. You guys
going
are
to
made
Vail,
up.
Colorado.
Right.
We're gonna go on a ski trip to Colorado. So it was so out of left field, and their outfits didn't match. I thought they were strippers. So I started moving everything. I'm like, oh, Jen's playing a prank. She got us male dancers. And then I saw a female, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun. So I'm like moving the bags. Do you remember Jenny?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, Jenny, move all the bags. Jen got strippers. And then, because they were like, we're looking for Miss Shaw. Classic bachelorette stripper moment, right?
So you really were thinking that in the very, like in the initial,
In the initial,
like with 30 seconds?
This is so something Jen would do.
And when did you go, oh shit?
When they kept saying, we need to know where Miss Shaw is. We need to make sure she's safe. And then I start looking at the gun, and I'm like, that's like metal. That's a metal
Real
gun.
gun.
That's not a plastic gun. And I look out the window, and we are surrounded by a SWAT team.
And then you were like,
And then Heather got off the van, and So cameras were down when it first started happening. Thank God they had the GoPros. Then I saw that cameras were up. The parking lot was sealed off, and SWAT team was surrounding our bus.
Did they frisk you guys? Like, did they check you guys?
Mm-mm. They just needed to know where Jen was.
Wow. That was crazy.
So there was a lot of things, that didn't add up, whatever. We just all kind of, I constantly ask questions, but we film so much, only so much makes it, right? But then we decide to leave. We're like, okay, we don't think she's really in the hospital. And then we found out that people started sending us the articles. Jen's been arrested on the side of the road, this and that. And then everything started coming in. Remember the sprinter van? I read that for the first time. That was my real raw reaction.
It seemed like
I
that.
had full body chills. And I said that. I said,
Didn't you say I had the
chills? Yeah, I said I have the fucking chills because it was so overwhelming to read that Jen Shaw had been arrested.
I remember that.
And indicted for...
Weren't they calling you Nancy?
Nancy Drew. Yeah, because when my mind turns on, I'm like, I watch too much true crime. Yeah. I listen to every true crime podcast, so I'm connecting the dots on businesses, homes, this, that.
you were on it, and
Lisa's calling her lawyers, Heather's
her 5 lawyers,
yeah. 7,
and Meredith and Marks were cutting to her she was in the hot tub, right, or the bathtub. Yeah, that was that season 2?
Yeah.
Damn, that was season 2. That's crazy.
See, and when people ask, is it scripted? Is it made up?
That ain't scripted.
I wish I could say it was, but no, it really happens. And it's a crazy world. I can't believe I ended up in it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And I know you can't answer this question, but I'll ask you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
How do you think that Heather got the black eye? How do you personally think that Heather Gay, the great Heather Gay, got the black eye?
I think she got into it. I think she got punched.
Do you think it was an inadvertent punch, or you think that...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I don't think it was I don't think she was in that kind of a situation with anybody where they were like, hey, and somebody just punched her in the face because they were mad at her. I think I don't know what was happening, but I think that somebody did it to her. I don't think she fell down.
You think that somebody did it to her?
Somebody did it to her.
And can I just ask you this? Will we, the audience, season 4, again, if you can't answer this, don't answer.
I can't answer it.
Let me just say, I can ask you this.
Okay.
Will we, the audience, find out anything more, not specifically, anything more about how Heather Gay may or may have gotten punched in season 4?
Yeah, I can't answer that.
Respect. I don't press the fucking shit.
But I said from day one.
And if you ever do get asked questions that people press you, just be like, I can't fucking answer that.
Yeah, I can't fucking answer that.
Respect the goddamn forum. Respect the craft. Respect the goddamn craft. I can't answer it.
But people don't get that. No.
Listen, respect the craft. That's the answer. Respect the craft.
Listen, and
You tell me you like the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this machine, this washing machine I'm in, and I respect it, and I have all the respect for Bravo and Shed Media. We are a team. I can answer that fucking question.
That's
and you
it.
know it, so don't ask it.
She can't answer the question. Respect the goddamn craft.
But I will say from day one,
slow pitched it to
I've
you.
only said from day one, though. I've said it.
What have you said on the air? Yeah, what have you said?
On air, Watch Weapons Live. I mean, you could flash to all this.
Quote yourself.
I think Jen hit her.
Damn.
Whether it was inadvertent or on purpose, I think Jen hit her, because think of how many, we've had some fun, drunk, wild girls' nights, and then I'll wake up and I'll be like, Connie, my toenail is gone. How did that happen? Right.
But that's different, a punch in the face, though. Did she just elbow her because they were dancing or what?
Yeah, Heather's
She would have said something if she just elbowed her if she dancing.
Too. I think you're right.
I think that Heather, that was a big mistake. Heather was... again, I love all of them. I love all you guys. But as far as her, because Heather was the belle of the ball, and the black eye, the articulating of the black eye, and I think in season 4, episode 1, thus far, she sort of kind of acknowledges that. However, she was processing that whole situation, trying to be a friend, but then I felt like at a certain point it was like, it kind of was like at the end of the season, it was like, yo, man, what the fuck, man? Like, yo, how did you get the fucking black eye? Like, she's in jail. She's not going to go to jail for assault if that was the case. Not saying it is. But it was like, I think she hung on to that black eye situation too tightly, even after the great housewife Jen Shaw was in prison. And I say that, again, acknowledging the
He doesn't want anyone to
victims.
come for him.
No, because with Erica Jane,
Yeah.
for instance, when I was doing the Wendy Williams show and I interviewed, did you come on the Wendy Williams show? No, because we met first at BravoCon. But Heather came on there. But, I was talking a lot about Erica a lot during that season where she was getting, she was in the fucking mix. And, I could say, obviously, the people that Tom Girardi fucked over, those are the most important people. But I could also say, that Erica Jane, as a viewer of the show, is dealing with it the best she can. Number one, not being able to talk about legal things. Fuck TV.
Yeah.
Fuck storylines. It's like, yo, she's on trial for her life. She can't say certain things. And anyone that knows about any kind of trial, I don't care if it's a fucking parking ticket around, like, yo, you can't say certain shit. And you can't say certain shit on TV, and you can't say certain shit just how you're saying you can't answer the question. So I was like saying she's doing the best she can, and people are like, you're defending her. I'm like, I'm not defending her. I'm saying what the fuck I'm saying. And the question was, are we all not entertained? And we were fucking entertained by that season. So you have to give her love. I don't like this. Another thing I don't like on social media is fire this housewife. Fire this housewife. She's got to go. She's got to go. She's giving us fucking life. We are getting endorphins watching this one, that one, or the Erica Janes, the Lisa Rinnas. She might be the biggest bitch. This person might be coming off like the biggest see you next Tuesday, but we're enjoying it. Why the fuck do you want to fire them? Like, how dare people want, and also, like, I hate when women are like, fire this other woman. I'm like, what's with the women's rights? So it's just a bunch of contradictory bull crap. And for me, unless you're doing something that's, really bad or breaking law or you're physically, hurting somebody, that's a certain thing. But, for just being a great housewife, whether it's the villain or not, I don't want to fire any of you.
And can you imagine being in Heather's shoes? Like, give her a grace. She's doing the best. She did the best she could.
She did the best she can. And there's no playbook, right? There's no. It's not like you have. It's not like you're going to your corner after the 11th round of the fight, and your coach is like, "All right, Heather, go back in there and throw the left hook and say this and don't say that and make sure you duck and the black eye this and the black." There's no coaches.
The fact that she got up and filmed the next day, she deserves mad respect for that, because she could have said, I'm injured, I don't feel good, I don't want to be seen, and she chose to show up
with a fucking black eye like a fighter.
And it wasn't just a black eye, her eyeball was black. Like, it was beyond a shiner. I almost threw up. It hurt my stomach to look at her.
I have to say, Michael, you might be the most passionate super fan of Housewives I've ever met.
I love it. And also, I play the game on social media, so I see what you guys get.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And I just don't, like, one thing that I do love it, and I don't like that firing shit.
No cancel culture.
Like, I'm not down with the cancel culture. And I'm like, listen, like I said, if you break the law, break the rules, physically hits, you got to go. But as far as being a villain on the show, being nasty on the show, that's what we pay for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it'll drive me nuts. Like Lisa Rinna, at times I was like, but she's a great television personality.
She is.
You could say what you want about any of them. Like Teresa Giudice. I mean, you could go, Ramona, the great. God, I mean.
Who is your favorite housewife? Do you have
I can't pick one. It's really just like, it's really just like what I'm watching. So right now, I'm focused on you guys. I'm focused on Orange County, which has been awesome. Orange County's been awesome. So I'll put the New York girls in the back. But like Dorinda, she at times, and I know Dorinda, I've met her, she at times as a viewer was driving me insane. And I was like, yo, you got to chill. But you got to chill. But I'm like, what's going to happen next week? Mm-hmm. What's going to happen next week? So
But you also go to your family party and you have like an aunt or a cousin that does the exact same
No
thing,
disrespect,
right?
I don't have an aunt like Dorinda, but I would like one. I would like an aunt like Dorinda. I would love Dorinda to be my. I would love Dorinda. I would love to be able to say Aunt Dorinda. Like I would love that, but like.
But you get what I'm saying. Like that's normal life. People,
100%.
some people irritate you.
100%, and everybody takes. Listen, for somebody like me, also who in real life, who in performance, who in podcasts, who in social media, I know I come to that line. I fucking jump over that line. I jump over that line and spit back on the other side of the line. I understand that. And I understand it in real life. I understand it in performance life and social media, and all that stuff. So, like I said, it's entertainment at the end of the day. And as long as, it's within the realms of what's acceptable in the world, no breaking laws, no physical shit. Because I don't like, when this, you guys, the most physical you've had was the alleged black eye and the pouring of the drink, right? What other physical?
The sprinter van, Lisa and Jen.
Oh,
right.
Did they have to pull it over?
Yeah, I was holding back Lisa and a producer was holding back Jen. And
Lisa was not scared.
No, and for someone who is
Lisa was
proud of not working out and eating Kit Kats for breakfast, she is strong.
Lisa's strong.
Yeah, I was like bear hugging her on the. Yeah, I was impressed, and she's not scared. She doesn't.
She was not scared.
No,
I was impressed by that.
I was so impressed by her strength. I was like, damn, I'm gonna.
Nah, she was like, yo, fuck that. You know what am I disappointing?
Jen has laid hands on me in season 1. In Vegas.
Right.
But they only showed a little portion of it. They showed the fingernails going into my forehead.
Were you tripping out when that was happening?
No, I was freaking out because I actually, at the time, I was still training in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. And I was like,
you're ready for a takedown.
I said, get her the fuck away from me because this will go physical and I'll break her elbows. And I don't want to do that on TV.
Were you comfortable? Were you physically comfortable, ready to get down?
Yeah, I was shaking because I'm like, do not touch me again because you'll regret it. And I don't want to be seen on TV in violence.
So are you still doing
Muay Thai?
Are you still doing that?
I have a bag in my basement. I still strike. And jiu-jitsu, I'm not practicing, but I mean, it comes back. I could put you in an arm bar real quick.
You're saying like you're not just saying that in general. You're like, you said that with a little bit of threat in your eyes. You said like, I could put you, Michael Rapaport, in an arm bar right quick.
Yeah.
So you're saying to me that was just like kind of a threat, like in general, like this.
No,
like
I mean, if I wanted, I wouldn't.
If my arm's here and I'm like, oh yeah, like anything could happen to my arm.
Anything. I mean, I would just slightly start with the thumb. And
Okay.
like, just put your arm back.
Okay, then I do it again, and then what happens to the thumb?
Then we're gonna go to the elbow.
Okay, and then I kind of get out of that, and then we pinky breaking.
Then I'm gonna kindly say, Michael, you need to leave. Because I might lose my self-control.
And if you lost your self-control, like we're talking like a thumb could be removed, are you biting it off, are you breaking it? Like what are we talking about, the ramifications that could happen?
Ideally, I just break it. But if that, you look really strong though. So you look like you have strong joints. And I'm out of practice, so I might just go for a throat too.
Your throat.
Yeah.
Like a throat gouge.
Okay, so I'm going to sound like a very aggressive person. I'm not aggressive at all.
Come out.
No, we're having fun.
I grew up with 3 older brothers, okay?
Okay, so you're comfortable.
And they all fought. My brother fought in UFC.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's a coach, UFC.
Is he a coach now?
No, it's Will. He's been on the show. He does jiu-jitsu.
Oh, right.
Season 1, I threw him.
Yes.
And he's like almost 300 pounds, by the way, and I threw him.
So you're comfortable like with that stuff?
Yeah,
she's a little bit mighty.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I just grew up with brothers, and
I
had to get out of my bedroom in the morning, look both ways.
I got you.
I was always under attack.
I got you. I understand.
And I grew up in a rough environment.
I got you.
Survival skills. My brothers taught me.
I got you.
Okay.
Right, I got it.
So, okay, back to the comedian. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I actually found him and apologized on Instagram. I was like, sorry.
And what did he say?
Nothing.
He didn't respond back?
No. And I apologize to Wise Guys.
Fuck him.
Because I frequent there. So
wait, let me say one thing though. One thing that I know is not going to happen during this trip to Salt Lake City, because I was like, oh shit, I'm coming to Whitney's house. I'm actually going to a Real Housewives actual house. One of my goals on this trip was Meredith Marks, who I know. Listen, But I wanted a Brooks Marks hoodie. Like I wanted like a Brooks Marks like hoodie. So Meredith, like I like
Should we
like
call her?
call her right now.
I keep going.
Anyway, I'm just because like I support the brand. I support the brand.
We'll make that happen.
All right.
So Meredith sent Brooks. I'm gonna text Brooks after this.
Come on, Brooks. Double XL, XL. I don't know how they're cut. Probably a double XL, maybe an XL, whatever. I'm kind of skinny, but I got long arms. You let me know what you think is best.
I mean, if you want one for tonight, I can give you Justin's.
No. Justin wouldn't want to part with that.
No, I mean we can get another one. But
Yeah, all right.
Brooks Marks, send the man a suit.
Hook it up.
But okay, I just feel like I sound like I'm very violent, but I have been kicked out of an Irish bar here too because I took down a man.
You took him down.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I remember.
When was this?
It's a couple of years ago.
It was before I was a housewife. People make fun of my age difference with my husband all the time, and I'm used to it. But we were sitting at a bar, and he had just got me my new ring.
Bling.
Yeah, and we were sitting there admiring it. We were living in California at the time, visiting Utah. And this guy kept coming up to me, hitting on me, and I'd be like, "Can you leave me alone? I'm with my husband." He'd be like, "That's your husband." So he was harassing me.
Was he drunk? Had to be drunk.
Yeah, tipsy, drunkish.
Yeah.
But he was harassing me, like, to the point of, like, there's no way you're with him. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. This is my husband. We have 2 kids. And seriously, if you come up again, it's going to be a problem.
And what happened?
He came up again.
And it was a problem.
And made fun of the way that my husband looked.
Oh,
and
hell
so
no.
He went back to his table of friends, and I saw red. I got up, and I walked over, and I took him to the ground, and I stood over him and put my foot on his chest. And I said, "You want to know why I'm with an older man? Because his fucking balls have dropped, bitch." And
Yeah, that's like some movie shit.
Like laughing. And the security guards come over, and I'm like steaming. I'm like trying to shake it off. I'm like steaming, and the security guard comes over. He's like, "Ma'am, that was the hottest thing I've ever seen, but I have to ask you to leave because we have a 0."
Yeah, you gotta go, man. We 86
Zero
But they didn't throw the
tolerance.
fucking dude out either?
I don't know what happened. Justin and I got out of there, and he calmed me down, and he was just like, "Whitney, you need to just stop." And
That's a
I'm
good
like,
story,
"I know."
though. That's a good story. I like that.
Yeah, but I'm not a violent person, but
I
I
got
sound
you.
like one.
No. Well, now with adding that story, you sound fucking
Listen,
nuts.
if you're ever in a pickle and I'm in your area,
Call
me.
you. All right.
Because I'm a ninja too. Like I can drop in. I'm stealth. I can drop in.
You got
quick.
what? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have a question for you,
'Kay.
Michael. Being in Hollywood for
what are we
30
at
plus
time?
years now, or what? How long has it been?
Shit,
30 years.
man. 30 years.
30
30
years.
plus years.
Yeah. So that's a world that a lot of people don't get to experience. And Whitney and I talk a lot on our podcast about being, about our health and wellness, spirituality,
Yep.
all the things. So
Yep.
what if you had something that you used to do or you do that keeps you grounded or centered through all the chaos and all the stuff going on? I mean, I'm just hearing what's going on in just your head.
Yeah,
So what
yeah.
do you do that centers you and grounds you?
We
Is there
we
something
call them our non-negotiables. What are your 3 non-negotiables?
that you do
good.
every day?
Well, shit, man. If I did them every day, I'd be better off. But, when I do some sort of working out or even like some sort of like, at least hour long, 45 minute to an hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours walking. But like, if I work out, my best days are when I get up and have some kind of workout. Now, I'm not like no crazy workout person, but whatever I do, I do it to the best I can. So if I get up and start with let's call it some sort of movement, and I'm eating good and I'm sleeping good, I feel good. But the difference that a workout, a walk, or makes for my day is it's every time I do it, like I always like, fuck, it's the best fucking thing. It's the best fucking way to start your days. Is some sort of movement, like it's something to get me going. Like that's like the best thing. And like I said, I'm not like no, like there's no like, videos like as I'm like in the crazy shit or running marathons or anything like that. But if I'm doing it, I'm like, that's like the jump start my day. And then just eat, like not eating shit because, like, it's just like, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
Especially when you're traveling on the road.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. The traveling.
Getting into hotels late.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It sucks. So like, as far as like specifically stand-up comedy, like that's like the most challenging thing is getting a good night's sleep, waking up, getting my body moving, eating good, and, going to sleep. Cause like the show, whatever. Listen, what I do for a living ain't hard compared to what, hardworking, people do. I'm fortunate, but like the question you asked, like just like the basics, make me feel a lot better, But I live, I don't drink. I drink a little wine every now and then. I'm pretty clean. My shit is like, like M&M peanuts, like, or like a cheeseburger, I don't need the cheeseburger, So when I'm in the town, when I'm in the city and I am on the road doing comedy, MichaelRapaportComedy.com, coming to a city near you, especially during the fall. Like what I do to make it simple is I look up the best vegan restaurants, and I'm not vegan, but I eat and I like a lot of vegan, vegetarian food, and I try to hit those up because it's better to hit that up than your random sandwich place or the burgers at the bars or the chicken wings. And comedy clubs, they all have good chicken wings. So when you're sitting backstage, you see like, oh, the chicken. I'm like, fuck, like those are the little things that keep me going.
I love it. Yeah, it's interesting. It comes back to just the basics, the simple things that go a long way.
Are you guys workout people?
I am.
What's your shit?
I mean, you are too. You definitely are. Right now, I'm into Orange Theory.
Right.
I love it.
I've been Orange Theory.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very hard.
Really hard.
It's good that there's classes and you sort of, there's classes, there's Orange Theories in different cities where you could do them. It's good. I think any of that shit is good. I did a Pilates.
Whitney's doing Pilates right now.
Yo, I did a fucking Pilates class.
Did you do the reformer or mat? Were you on a
I'm
machine
sorry,
or a
not
mat?
Pilates. I've done Pilates. I did a bar class.
Oh, bar
Which is
class.
even more...
Kind of like the ballet bar.
Like, what the fuck am I doing in a bar class?
Yeah, what were you doing?
How did you end up there?
So I'll give a shout out to my man in Westport who told me about this spot. There was a bar class in Connecticut, and my wife has done it, and we were just like, let's somebody invited us. And we went. It was a Sunday, and I mean, it was shit's fucking no joke, man. It's like people think like it's like when you're sitting in these positions like for like 60 seconds. I was holding like 5-pound weights, and you're holding up, 5-pound weights for 30 seconds sound hard. It doesn't sound hard, but then when it's like 90 seconds and you're doing this and you're shit was tough.
It's hard. I've done a bar class, a couple of them. They are hard. They're no joke.
They are no.
I love that you've done them.
My guy Zach, I'll give a shout out to my guy Zach, who's a humongous Housewives fan. He's a true blue Housewives connoisseur fan.
Yes, Zach. What's up, Zach?
Zach. So he invited me and my wife, and we went, and I was like, 3 days later, I was like, I think I like tore, like something's not right. She's like, so I was like, no, my
You're not
hips,
used to being on your toes, are you?
my toes, and be up and down, and like, like it was.
I think he's on his toes.
Yeah,
It's different.
but it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. Anyway, so that I'm open to all that shit. The hot yoga, cold yoga. I'm not into these cold plunges. This is a new.
You haven't tried one yet?
I've tried it. I just don't like I could just get in a cold shower. Like I don't like you need a cold plunge. And I mean, Utah, you could walk out of your fucking house to get a cold plunge.
Yeah.
If you want a cold plunge, you could literally go outside for 90 seconds.
Did you see in the premiere or the teaser Lisa and I jumping into a frozen lake?
Yes, I saw that.
That shit was cold.
Was it freezing?
I only did it because it was for charity.
How long did you do it for? Did you jump in and jump out?
The space was like probably from this wall to that wall. So what is that, 10, 12 feet?
Yeah.
He had to jump in, swim to the ladder, and get out.
And going all the way under?
All the way under. They had security personnel to make sure that you
didn't drown?
Yeah. And Because some people go into shock.
I'll tell you what, Whitney and we went to dinner that night. This is hours later. Whitney had her hair pulled back into a bun. She sat in your bathtub for hours trying to warm your body back up.
That's why I'm not into the
than a
cold
cold
plunges.
plunge. This is different.
No, but that's what, like, I have a friend of mine who's into the cold plunge. He's like, dude, I was in my cold plunge. I my whole day was ruined because I'm freezing. I'm like, that's why I'm not fucking with
But
that.
it does give you endorphins. I
Great.
felt like I did drugs.
Great.
I was
great.
so high
So
on
does like a
life.
3-minute plank gives you, like, there's other things.
Not like this.
It was, yeah, I know it. Well, I'm no hate. I just don't like the traininess of it. Anyway.
Right. Well, it's the same thing as after you work out, take a cold shower. That's
Yes.
been something you want to wake up, you need energy, take a cold shower.
100%.
But
That's a similar thing.
we're extremists, so we jump in lakes.
All right, cool.
Yeah. But I know you have a show tonight.
Yes.
We're coming.
Yes.
Yes.
And I cannot wait to cheer you on. I know I'm going to laugh my ass off.
Don't heckle me, Whitney.
I'm not going to heckle you because you're not a Karen. This other person was kind of a Karen.
Okay, good. I think I do my little housewife stuff. I definitely talk about the stuff and my love of it, and it'll be fun to see you in the crowd.
Yeah. So forgive me for heckling a comedian.
No
I'll never
problem.
do it again.
No problem. 4 shots in. You're just so lucky that didn't get. You are so lucky that you beating up the guy. Let's just say you beat up the guy in the bar and heckled a comedian as a housewife. These are things that like people would run with for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Luckily,
true.
it was all before Housewives.
Yes.
I get away with a lot, actually. There's things that will happen, and I'm like, just waiting for the shitstorm to come. I'm like, oh, no one picked up on it. We're good.
Thank God.
But now I'm going to curse myself, so let's not include that.
Yeah,
Don't watch my social media too closely.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Biggest honor to have you here.
You have given me so much joy. The show has given me so much joy. And I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be in a Real Housewives actual house doing your podcast.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate it. It's so fun to meet you in
Thank you,
person.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. We love you. Our followers are amazing, and I know you're going to love this podcast today with the brilliant Michael Rapaport. Let them know one more time where they can find you.
At Michael Rapaport everywhere on all platforms, and please come to see my shows. I'll be coming to a city near you, michaelrapaportcomedy.com, and I'm easy to find.
Yeah, and we'll include all those links in the description of this podcast. And if you like this podcast, please share it with your friends and family. We love you, and don't forget,
Be you and stay wild. Boom.
Yay Networks.